Welcome to this episode of Rebelle Revealed. While we are ready to start painting our drawing, we're actually not going to paint in this episode of Rebelle Revealed at all. What we got to do first is create a color palette. So far we have been working in black only, but we're going to need some colors to paint the house. For that I'm going to show you all the options available in Rebelle to get a nice color palette which matches the photo and creates a beautiful painting. Well, let's explore that. To demonstrate how we can work with color in Rebelle, I started a new canvas. I don't want to mess up my original drawing, and you see that not everything is matching totally where it should be, but it will work for this. If we want to paint with color, we have a few options to either pick the colors or create a color palette, and we can do that in various ways. So I'm going to explore all of these options together with you. Now for that, what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to just hide that house. So I'm going to need that later on, the photo of the house. And here is my drawing, and I'm going to move this layer in between the house and the drawing, and I want to paint on that, although I'm not going to paint much, just for a demonstration. Probably the most logic thing to do is to work from the reference photo. So I'm going to pick the window, I'm going to say reference image, and I need to find that reference image. Let's see, it's in the Rebelle folder. There it is. There's my house, and I want to open it, close this, and there's my reference. I want to make that slightly larger so that I at least can see what I'm doing. Now from this reference image I can pick any color I want, and for that what you do is pick the color picker, and if you have a pen, I have a Union tablet, and I know I need to double tap on a spot to get that certain color, and now I could start painting. See, and I have roughly the ground color. There you go. And if I want the stone color, I double tap, and this is of course way too large, and I get the stone color. This is the way I could pick any color from here. So that would be the first, I would say the most logic option. Pick the colors from your reference. Now once you picked your colors, you can just go to color set, and on the top it remembers the last colors. So the floor, the stone I picked, some other colors I picked already before. It remembers the last color, so you don't have to select every color. So if I select the window color, it should nicely, I should pick the color picker. There you go, and it should add that color as soon as I use it. Let's do it on a window. It should add that color to that set there. See? So you get all the colors, it remembers the colors you have used. And from this little color set we're creating, we could actually create a palette. And to do that, you go down here under the color palettes, you just say add a new color palette, then select this color and just add the plus, and it adds that to my color palette, and add the plus again, and there you go. And now I would create my own color palette, and I don't have to go back to the reference image, or if I want that for later reference, it's there. Alright, that is the first option. Now color picking with a mouse goes slightly different. I'll just pick my mouse. Instead of double tapping, I can just click on a color and it will select that color. And the reason the pen doesn't do that, if I hold the right mouse button on the pen, it will move the image. That is the way the pen is set. So that's why I use the pen slightly different. Well, that's the first way to pick color, but you can do this in various ways. There's at least 4 more ways we can do that. 3 in Rebelle and 1 externally, although I'm not going to explore the external one. I'm going to mention it. All right, well, let's go for the next option. I'm going to get rid of my reference image, and I want to get rid of all these windows. The other way we could do this is by putting the photo under our drawing, and then just here is a color picker too. Select the color picker. I want to select the color, and now here, as you can see, it works a little bit different. It shows you which color you're going to pick. So if I want to pick the mortar, and there we go, hopefully I've got the mortar now. Now I'm on the stone. I would need to zoom in. Now I've got pretty much the mortar. Or if I want the green, I can pick any color I like. And again, once I use the color, and then I'm going to the right layer, so let's use this green a little bit. Oh, I need to get rid of this color picker, of course. Pick your brush. Oh, now it doesn't have the green anymore. Let's do that again. Picking that bright green, there we go. Switch to the brush, paint a little bit, then the color appears here, and I could add that to my color palette too. Oh, no, I didn't add it to my color palette. This plus, there you go. And that is a way too, although then you would, when I'm starting to paint, I need to hide this reference, I need to bring it back, I need to hide it, and that's a lot more work than using the small reference there. But it is a way to pick colors, and this method actually works in pretty much any application you use. You could use this method. It's not the quickest method perhaps, but it works. Let's go for another method. There's a very nice one in Rebelle, although well, you can get some surprising results from that one. Let's explore that one. Now from this reference image, we could actually use a second way to pick colors. Actually let Rebelle do it automatically, or you pick it automatically while you're painting. And to get that, it's very interesting. You set this layer, you press this T, and then it becomes a tracing layer. Now you actually cannot trace, yeah, you can still trace it, but it doesn't work like I would think. Normally a tracing layer would work, that would be a reference layer you're going to trace, but it works differently. It's going to trace the colors. So if I set this to tracing layer, and now the interesting thing, if I hide this, I don't want to see it, I go to my painting layer. Now I've set this as tracing layer. Wherever I'm going to place my pen, that is the color it's going to pick. So we need this, and now look at that. I'm going to tap there, see, and it picks this color, and I can paint with that color now my stone. If I want the window, I tap on the window. There you go. If I want the door color, I'm gonna get at least the door color or the shade that I'm tapping. Now I'm not seeing what is happening, so you could bring back the reference. Oh, not that one. This one, even lower the opacity so that at least you see a little bit what's going on, and it still would pick the right color. So I pick that red, see, and it still gets that nice and bright red. And that would work too. That's better. I probably just picked the mortar here instead of the red. So that works too. So you can work it like that, pick a color, zoom in if you wanted to get more accurate. And now it picks a really dark color. So you get all kinds of shades. Let me zoom in a little bit. The stone color, there you go. And so on and so on. Now let me go back to the reference. So you could use that too. And as long as you keep, so if I'm picking this color here, as long as I keep painting, it doesn't pick a different color. But as soon as I put my pen somewhere else, it picks a different color. As you can see, now it picks this color. So you can get some very interesting things. Now I picked the mortar. Quite interesting what you could do with this. So that is what the tracing layer works. That is how it works. It traces the colors on it. That's a very interesting way to pick colors, and you get some very nice, but also perhaps, if you don't pay attention, unwanted results. Let's explore the last way, well, on combining 2 and 1. The last way to do this, and probably the most easiest way, and I'm going to clear this off from colors for a minute, hide this, is just to create your own color palettes. Now Rebelle can actually determine the colors for you. Now you may have seen sites like this, palette generator, where you upload a file and then it creates a color palette for it. Rebelle can do that. Now to let Rebelle create a palette for you from a reference photo, you need to go to color set. You press on the 3 lines here, which opens up a menu, and you have there an option, create color set from image file, and that gives you a number of options. Do you want to pick 4 colors, 6 colors, no, 9, 16, 25, 36. I'm going for 36 colors. Once you press that, it wants to open the image. So you need to find the image which I want, and I want this one. And now it automatically, as you can see here, has created a color palette from it. Now before I can use this, I need to switch this reference layer off again, because otherwise every time I pick a color, set my pen somewhere, it picks a color. So the reference layer is off again. Now I'm going to the layer, and I'm going to pick that stone color, and it should paint that stone color. If I want some mortar color, there you go. Interesting. If I want to paint some of the leaves, it has some leaf color. If I want to paint the pavement, there you go. Pavement color. Windows, various window colors. And it has all the color I need, and it picked that automatically from this photo I have from the reference photo. And this is a very easy way to use color palettes too. Now here it is the first color palette on your color palette tab, and of course you can rename this. I could rename this to if the tablet starts working. Now Windows isn't cooperating today. It doesn't bring up the keyboard, so I'll have to type it in. I'm gonna name this house. And now my palette is called house, and I can start painting this. I could still bring up, of course, the reference image to just see where colors are. And I would put that in a window and start painting, or bring this up once in a while. That is up to you how you're going to do that. And those are the options you have to create a color palette in Rebelle, or to pick colors from a reference from the photo itself. Now, 5 nice options. I think Adobe offers that too, that you can go to the website and create a palette from there. But it is all inside of Rebelle, so actually you don't need to leave Rebelle. You just need to have your reference photo, and you can let it pick the colors, or pick the colors yourself, and you can paint them wherever you like. Well, that's it for this episode of Rebelle Revealed. We now know how to pick the colors. So I would say, yeah, pick the method you like for this. And in the next one, we're going to explore watercolors a little bit. And then after the next episode after that, we're actually going to paint.